50 Mental Realities About Men in Adoration. How do men act while becoming hopelessly enamored? At the point when you go gaga for a person, you are zeroing in favoring your own sentiments, contemplations, and conduct. You might look for hints in the way of behaving of your man to sort out whether he is responding your affection. Have you at any point attempted to comprehend how a man sees love? The brain science signs recorded beneath are undeniably connected with the mentality of a man when he is enamored. Generally, their sentiments and responses are molded by cultural standards. They will generally go by what is generally anticipated of them, as opposed to what they truly feel. This makes it more clear and foresee a man's responses when he is infatuated. 1. Men go completely gaga. As far as he might be concerned, energetic love resembles a compulsion. When he concludes that he cherishes you, he gives his heart over to you. There is no most of the way with men. This might wind up with him getting fixated on his adoration for you. He will bear everything to anyone who might be in the vicinity. He will broadcast his genuine romance for you to the world audaciously. 2. Men are not ideal with words, particularly when they are infatuated. They can seldom track down the right words to communicate their affections for you. Frequently, their heartfelt love for you will emerge as activities. However, they never avoid showing their adoration for you. At the point when men show love, ladies talk love. 3. You become the focal point of their universe. Men get so dependent on adoration in you that they will generally disregard the remainder of the world. They disregard their fellowships and different responsibilities to dedicate their whole consideration and time to you. As far as you might be concerned, as a lady, this can be a mind-boggling experience, particularly when you are encountering it interestingly. 4. Men can get high on heartfelt love. As they fixate on you and commit their whole energy, time, and spotlight on the relationship, men experience a sensation like dependence on drugs. There is some logical truth about this also. At the point when you are infatuated, your cerebrum produces amphetamine, the compound related with substance compulsion. It is connected to a glad standpoint, fervor, and raised energy levels. 5. Men are beyond happy when they are enamored. In the underlying stages, this is valid. As dopamine creation goes up in the mind, they experience a feeling of complete joy, like happiness. They notice just the brilliant happenings in their environmental elements. The world appears to be lovely. This feeling likewise has an actual perspective. Dashing hearts and sweat-soaked palms are immediate results of this euphoric sensation. 6. At the point when a man becomes hopelessly enamored, his feeling of judgment goes for a throw. Heartfelt love can cause individuals to do odd things. The regularly reasonable and sensible individuals can do or say odd stuff when they are infatuated. They say this is love grabbing hold. Quite possibly of the most well-known outcome in men of falling head over heels is a deficiency of judgment. They carry on of character which is effectively observable. 7. He never again is made a fuss over others' thought process. This is something that directs our way of behaving all through our grown-up lives. We dread to wander excessively far away from cultural standards because of a paranoid fear of being marked as a creep. Nonetheless, love will quell that trepidation in a man. He will toss watchfulness to the breezes. He is infatuated, and that is the only thing that is important to him now. Whether straightforwardly proclaiming his affection for you or a public presentation of warmth, he never avoids any of them. 8. His psyche is brimming with cheerful and positive recollections. In the beginning of a relationship, all he can see and experience is satisfaction, energy, and positive thinking. The adoration chemical oxytocin plays a significant part to play in this development. Love sets off the discharge of oxytocin that assists with the mindset and development of recollections to value until the end of time. This is likewise valid for an individual who has had unpleasant connections previously. For now, all that is neglected and the new love rules. 9. Men start to utilize we more. This change is adequately basic to identify, assuming that you focus. All kinds of people, when they are single, will generally utilize I a great deal in their discussions. Notwithstanding, as men quit fooling around with their connections, without acknowledging it, they begin utilizing we and us more regularly. In any event, while making arrangements for his own future, he will remember his accomplice for it. 10. Men find it hard to remain furious for a really long time. He is for sure frantically enamored with you, be that as it may. This doesn't mean there are no discussions or clashes. In any event, when he contradicts you, he finds it hard to remain frantic at you. In any event, when he contends convincingly, there is no outrage or savagery in it. He simply needs to assist you with seeing his perspective. Just that. What's more, he doesn't convey the contention any longer than required. When the issue is settled, he has returned to his sweet former ways. 11. Men are possessive of the ladies they love. This is a normal characteristic of a man. At the point when they love an individual, they maintain that the individual should cherish them back with equivalent power and be faithful to them. Likely this is implanted in human qualities. The need to protect the mate and be envious of anybody attempting to remove them are viewed as regular way of behaving. Regardless of whether you are yet to focus on the relationship, he will in any case have a possessive outlook on you. The danger, genuine or saw, need not be from another admirer. Anything that gets you far from him is treated as a likely danger. 12. There is something else to adore besides sex. There is a misinterpretation in regards to men and sex, that all they ponder all day is sex. This can't be further from reality. Obviously, sex is a significant piece of the relationship, yet it isn't everything for a man. Folks truly do have major areas of strength for a drive and do anticipate sex. Be that as it may, for him being with you and fulfilling you overshadows his own needs and wants. They find kissing and snuggling so a lot are considerably more charming. 13. Men show their sort and giving nature. It isn't so much that men are not kind or caring in any case. In any case, these are generally seen in the public eye as a lady's strong point. Notwithstanding, when in adoration, the delicate side of a man comes to the front, they will be great, mindful, and compassionate. They appear to be mindful of the way that their conduct will affect their accomplice and the relationship. 14. Men assume the cliché job of defender and supplier. In this time and age, this might sound obsolete, yet cultural molding is a hard thing to shake off. Regardless of the advances made by society, men are as yet viewed as defenders and suppliers. In this way, when a man becomes hopelessly enamored and is seeing someone, will feel a sense of urgency to safeguard the lady he cherishes and accommodate her. He might start to see his occupation with more reality. 15. A few men adopt a watched strategy to cherish. While most men laugh in the face of any potential risk in love without care or leave, a few men adopt a mindful strategy. Perhaps it is their past encounters in affection and connections or their childhood. Yet these men won't dispose of the defensive reinforcement that watches them against getting injured. The sensation of weakness of such men is frequently deciphered as lack of engagement. 16. A few men focus on the necessities of the lady they love. This isn't the means by which a man is molded to act. While ladies will generally put the requirements of others before theirs, a man's reality normally spins around himself. Be that as it may, when he falls head over heels, this mentality changes. He will attempt to cut out space for the lady they love and fit them into their lives. They place their accomplice's necessities before theirs. 17. Men are known to experience passionate feelings for quicker than ladies. Society directs that men start to lead the pack in a relationship. This implies when men find a lady alluring, they don't think excessively, all things being equal. They hop directly into the relationship without apprehensions. Then again, ladies for the most part weigh benefits against disadvantages and crunch the numbers prior to experiencing passionate feelings for. This is a speculation and may not be valid for everybody. 18. Men feel torment and injury profoundly, both physical and profound agonies. Yet, they do great work of concealing it that the overall impression they give the world is correct the inverse, that they are troublemakers. Men are accepted to encounter actual agony with more prominent power than ladies. Melancholy, injury, misery, and heartbreaks are felt more by men, particularly when they see somebody they love in misery. Their heart liquefies. Nonetheless, cultural standards request that men set up an intense outside. Likewise, they need to assume the part of superhuman. 19. Love appears to dull the vibe of agony in men. At the point when you are infatuated, your cerebrum delivers a scope of chemicals that can hinder your ordinary sensations. Your feeling of dread, rationale, and judgment gets dulled. Your degree of resistance to torment goes up a couple of scores. As a matter of fact, a few examinations have found that affection can cut down your torment significantly. The impression of affection wrecks the force of different sensations, both great and terrible ones. 20. Men will more often than not lose their hunger when in adoration. Men are normally partial to food. However, love can change all that instantly. The adoration chemical, oxytocin, is a hunger executioner. As the sensation of adoration assumes command over his brain, he will presently not be keen on what he eats. Assuming you focus, you will find him singling out his food. Other than the logical clarification, there is likewise one more justification for this. At the point when he is eaten by adoration and his center movements to the ladies he cherishes, the lifted-up status that food delighted in his life loses its situation. 21. Love can assist men with moving past their genuine addictions, like smoking, drinking, and even substance misuse. Love itself will assist them with getting high without utilizing any of these outside energizers. Also, it gives them the certainty and determination to defeat their addictions. No big surprise they say that affection can overcome all. Vanquishing addictions is adequately strong. 22. At the point when in adoration, the world appears to disappear. Men fall further and harder in adoration than ladies. They go overboard enamored that the remainder of the world will simply vanish. All they can see is you and all they can feel is love. Once more, past affection chemical oxytocin plays a part to play in this adventure. Men are designed to act this method for assisting associations with occurring. 23. As the relationship advances, there will be an undeniable change in conduct. At the point when men become hopelessly enamored, they will encounter all-going with sensations to the most extreme. Satisfaction, fervor, enthusiasm, and happiness are outright. Notwithstanding, this will not stay at a similar level for a really long time. After the underlying happiness, men will generally settle down seeing someone more agreeable degrees of closeness. 24. Men will more often than not love ladies who respect them. This is one thing most men need from their accomplices. Except if they get regard and profound respect, the relationship isn't off limits. Men love it when the lady they love admires them, be it for guidance, insurance, or security. Once more, cultural molding has a great deal to do with this. A few men love it when the ladies in their lives stick to them to fulfill their necessities. 25. Men will more often than not show their seriousness when in affection. Being serious is a fundamental piece of a man. As a matter of fact, he shows a similar serious soul when in adoration too. The Stone Age man mindset kicks in for men. Men want to rival different men to prevail upon the best lady. Additionally, men feel a sense of urgency to acquire high ground in the relationship. 26. Men are envious of the lady they love. This is a weird one, something that a lady would see as challenging to comprehend. You are frantically infatuated with one another and have a profoundly personal connection. Nonetheless, your accomplice can be envious of you, since they need more from you in the relationship. Men are consistently scared of being deserted and let be. They will effectively keep the relationship. 27. Men attempt to wear the job of a legend, or on the other hand a superhuman. He believes that you should admire him with wide peered toward reverence. The legend sense in men will cause them to do unusual things. He anticipates that you should go to him at whatever point you are confronted with an issue, with the goal that it will allow him an opportunity to get down to business and salvage you. This will provide him with the fulfillment of being a legend for you. Being your regular legend makes a big difference to him. Legend impulse expressions are intended to set off a profound, instinctual want in a man to secure and accommodate you. They depend on the brain science of fascination and work by taking advantage of a man's regular impulses. 28. Men make a good attempt to dazzle the lady they love. He grasps the significance of appearances and initial feelings. He realizes that this is vital to progress in his affection life. The standard lighthearted person will be aware of what he looks like or acts when a lady begins focusing on him. He becomes excessively worried about his garments, prepping, cleanliness, and habits. He feels at peace, worried, and protected about what he says in case he outrages the woman. He realizes that an individual who doesn't realize him well can, without much of a stretch, be irritated by the manner in which he communicates his perspectives. To try not to insult the lady he cherishes, he will attempt to learn better habits. 29. Men give significance to actual touch. Love equals actual closeness for men. That is the manner by which they are designed. The second the acknowledgement comes to him that he is enamored with you, he could detect the urge where it counts inside him to draw near to you in the actual sense. This is many times misjudged as sexual overdrive. He loves to be close to you, contacting and brushing against you. In the event that you are likewise pleasant, he will gladly engage in sexual relations with you. You want to comprehend that not sex means quite a bit to him. It is the way that he is with you constantly. The simplest method for satisfying him is to enjoy the more actual part of the relationship. 30. Men make a good attempt to comprehend the lady they love. They realize that people are from two unique planets. What's more, that it is difficult for a man to figure out the psyche of a lady. The manner in which they think, feel, act, and respond to the world outside is different, to the point that on occasion, he will puzzle over whether he is involved with a person or an outsider. However, to give credit where it is expected, men require the additional work to comprehend the functions of a lady's psyche, particularly the one he is at present with. As a lady, you should simply assist him with understanding you better. At the point when he looks ignorant regarding your fervor, unexpected eruptions of fury, or heavy tears, simply make sure to take care of him. Surprisingly, he is a quick student. 31. Men will quite often reflect your way of behaving in activities. The equivalent is valid for ladies too. At the point when you are involved with somebody immensely not the same as you, you attempt to overcome any barrier by emulating them. He is uncertain of your preferences. He is uneasy that you dislike his decisions. To err on the side of caution, he duplicates your decisions, activities, quirks, and methods of articulation. Along these lines, he believes he can't turn out badly. Men do this without them understanding it. This is an assembled system in people to keep away from struggle and to coexist with others. 32. Men open up to the lady they love. He might be a saved and hesitant individual to the remainder of the world. Yet, to the individual he adores, he is very easy to read. Men are prepared to uncover their actual selves to their accomplices to guarantee a decent relationship. This may not occur in one go right on the very beginning. They let down their watchmen step by step over the underlying days of the relationship. As they acquire certainty, they will be prepared to uncover their weaknesses and shortcomings. 33. He is generally available to you no matter what. It might appear to you that he was hanging tight for your call this while. That might be valid or simply your creative mind at work. However, he without a doubt ensures that he is accessible at whatever point you need him or contacts him. This is particularly obvious when you need assistance. He will drop all that he is doing, regardless of how significant it is, and hurry to your guide. He needs to be your knight in sparkling defensive layer, your defender and rescuer. Also, he is glad that being with you is a definitive award he gets for his work. 34. He respects you. Regard is something most significant in a relationship. Without it, the relationship will be difficult to support for a really long time. Energetic love without regard is only fixation. Genuine affection incorporates common regard. Men recognize the ladies they love in numerous ways. He will ask your viewpoint prior to deciding and plans. You will have an equivalent say in all that you do together. He regards your no and knows when to stop. 35. He concurs you the main concern. Your position is high up on his need list. Whether investing energy with you or obliging your desires, he will make an honest effort to get it going. Simply showering his consideration and friendship on you isn't what's truly going on with enthusiastic love. Everything revolves around requiring the work to figure out you and adjusting to remember you for his affection life. However, don't anticipate that he should take special care of every one of your requests or race to you each and every time you call him. You additionally need to regard his independence and opportunity. This works the two different ways. 36. It is generally all-consuming, instant adoration for men. Men don't set aside some margin to fall head over heels. The fascination for them is quick. While ladies are more legitimate and logical about affection, it might take them longer to affirm their adoration and conclude whether they need to seek after the relationship. Men are more basic animals. Their psyches are less convoluted, and they show up at choices a lot quicker and more straightforward. Perhaps ladies are more careful in light of the fact that the outcomes of a terrible relationship are more terrible for them. Men are continuously searching for accomplices when they are single, and any lady they meet is treated as an expected accomplice. However long they breeze through the underlying assessment, it is on taking everything into account. 37. He is captivated by your magnificence and looks. This is an essential perspective for a man to experience passionate feelings for. Engaging quality and appearance. However long you finish the assessment, the relationship is on. Appearance is something that grabs the attention of a man quick. Solely after he becomes more acquainted with you well, will he start to see the value in your character, knowledge, or similarity. By looks, you needn't bother with to be Miss Universe to intrigue him. You simply have to fulfill his excellence guidelines and his assumptions for an accomplice. When you finish the assessment, there is no requirement for you to stress over your looks. You are as of now in and presently. Your way of behaving chooses the eventual fate of the relationship. 38. Men notice how you turn up for the date. Have you invested additional energy to look more appealing? Had any magnificence medicines of late? Wearing another dress, he would be the first to note. The fact that catches his eyes effectively makes red one variety. He finds it visually captivating when you are sporting red. He expects that you are donning red to accumulate his consideration. In the event that you believe he should see you or keep his consideration on you, the straightforward strategy is to wear a red dress. 39. Men are overpowered by affection. At the point when he falls head over heels, he might want to disregard your inadequacies generally. He might try and consider your imperfections to be your resources. Energetic love can amaze the most grounded of men. This might leave you asking why. You are harsh about your defects and feel truly astounded that he is disregarding or overlooking them. Men are for sure head over heels. He will consider your unyielding way of behaving to be assurance or your moles or spots as magnificence improvements. As a lady, you simply have to comprehend that when a man experiences passionate feelings for you, he falls head over heels for you in general, including what you consider as your disasters. 40. Love can make all the difference with a man. It is difficult for a man to change his set ways. In the event that anything can assist him with transforming, it is love. At the point when a man experiences passionate feelings, he needs to be the best individual he can be for the lady he cherishes. He will actually want to roll out the improvements to assist his case and make the lady with returning his fondness. He may currently know about his weaknesses, however never had the drive to improve. The appearance of adoration can have a gigantic effect. He would be looking for ways of turning up better and establish a decent connection with the lady he cherishes. 41. Men will quite often go leeway on work when they are infatuated. In a manner this is reasonable. All things considered, a day has just 24 hours. He can unfortunately do a limited amount a lot as a result of the intense outside they show for the world. It is an overall misinterpretation that they are not impacted when connections go downhill. That men change accomplices like garments. You can't be further from reality. Numerous examinations have demonstrated that men take more time to recuperate from separations than ladies. The recuperating is a more slow interaction for them. 48. Men change their viewpoint and standards to synchronize with yours. As the heartfelt connection goes on and you are together for quite a while, you both will make concessions to conform to one another's characters. However, this might sound bizarre. Men accomplish a greater amount of this change than ladies. Men will generally get additional propensities and characteristics from ladies to synchronize their standpoints. You might find it as a type of praise that he is embracing your methodologies. However, for the well-being of the relationship, it is good that he keeps up with his independence. 49. Men normally won't keep you pausing. Dissimilar to the overall view of them, Men are kind about how others see them, particularly the ladies they love. Be it about making up their brains about the relationship or coming to joint conclusions about their future. Men are consistently circumspect, to say the least. At the point when you request help or send him a SOS, he rushes to answer. All the consideration and empathy in a man comes from a real spot. He truly is serious about what he says or does. One thing he will not do is to keep you hanging. He will tell you what he feels about you and where you stand with him in the relationship. 50. Men are glad to trust that the lady will come around. At the point when a man decides that he cherishes you, he will go to the furthest limit of the world to make the relationship work. In any event, when the lady he cherishes isn't yet persuaded, he will pause. To a man, the relationship isn't something to waste time with. At the point when he gives his heart over to a lady, he does it with all the expectation of making it endure forever. He will utilize each stunt he knows to persuade the lady that he is the right one for her. Man will pursue, seek after, court, and charm to prevail upon the core of his woman love. He thinks about this, value the work and inconvenience. What's more, at last, when he finds acknowledgement, you can't fault him for feeling super about it. Primary concern. A portion of the brain science realities about men referenced above are generalizations